Harley Lippman is a geopolitical analyst, plus he's one of the businessmen that helped the Trump administration reach these Abraham Accords that kept peace in the Middle East for a long time until Biden came along. Harley, welcome back to the program. So that was my assessment of Joe's trip and who's behind it and who's pulling strings and his double talk and his rhetoric and everything else and where I think he's going with things. But I could be wrong. I'm not a geopolitical analyst. Harley, what do you think's going on over there?
I've actually been encouraged by what I've seen. This is one of the best things I've seen in a year and a half.
Really? Okay, explain. I got to hear this.
Okay. Well, one, he's visiting our allies in the region, which is important. Saudi Arabia, Israel, two important allies of the United States. Saudi Arabia, I'll give you just a great example of what a good ally they are. When Biden asked Saudi Arabia to take in Afghan refugees, they said they would, and they did. When Biden asked Saudi Arabia to help the Lebanese army and other institutions, they said they would. Saudi Arabia has been a good friend and ally of the United States. United Arab Emirates has been in 6 military conflicts alongside the United States, of which none of them they had a bone in conflict with. So they're loyal allies, and Israel is a great ally of the United States. Iran is an enemy.
Of
they
course.
Want to destroy
but Harley,
America.
don't forget, is this to kind of break bread with the Crown Prince and maybe suck up a little bit? Because he did do some trash talking on the campaign trail and when he first got into the White House about the Saudis. Let's not forget that.
You're absolutely right. He did, and he made terrible mistakes. He said nothing socially redeeming comes out of Saudi Arabia, and then he wouldn't even speak to MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, the ruler. He said he would talk to his father, which if you want to insult the royal family, I can't think of a better way of doing it. But I think there's been a turnaround. I think the reason why he's there is not about oil. I know it appears that way, and it may have been a catalyst, but I'll tell you 3 reasons why Biden is going to Saudi Arabia, and they're really important. Reason 1, we're still at war with radical Islam.
Yes.
ISIS and Al-Qaeda haven't gone anywhere. I mean, they're not dead yet. They're still around. And if you look at it, there are nearly 2 billion Muslims in the world, and they're divided primarily between 2 groups, Sunni and Shia. And the Saudis and the Sunnis make up 85% of the world's Muslims. And the Saudis are the guardians of the Sunni religion. They have the 2 holiest sites there, Mecca and Medina. So you want them on our side.
Of course.
So that's reason 1 why you want to re-engage with the Saudis and have a good relationship with them. Reason 2, we have a mutual enemy, Iran. They want to destroy us. They say it outright. They hate America. They demonstrate against America. And so we have a mutual enemy, Israel, Saudi Arabia, UAE. The good thing is we're all aligned. And none of those countries have an issue with Iran. Iran is the one that has an issues with everybody else. It's like Israel and Iran. People say, well, those 2 countries have to work it out. Well, in theory, that sounds good, but actually there's a right and a wrong. Israel has no grievance with Iran. Iran wants to destroy Israel. They say it all the time. And they're the center of Holocaust denial in the world. Why is that? I mean, wouldn't that make you wonder? And I can tell you why I think it is. Because they want to take away any sympathy from the Jews because they say they want to destroy Israel. And I think we have to learn that when dictators say they're going to do things, pay attention. Putin says he was going to take Ukraine. No one listened to him. No one believed him. He did.
Right.
When Iran says they want to destroy Israel and the United States, take them seriously.
Sure. Let me ask you something, Harley. I want to ask something. Your homeland, we're talking Israel. That was his first stop. What do you make of Biden's comments, though, when he was pressed by, I believe it was a reporter there, about comments Democrats, folks in his party, have made about Israel? And I think his statement back, I don't know if we have it, was they've made some incorrect statements. They've made some, remarks they shouldn't have. I don't think it went far enough. He should have condemned remarks made by certain Democrats in his parties against Jews and Israel, because there's been some pretty nasty ones. Ilhan Omar and some other members of Congress. He did not condemn them. If you're over there trying to break bread and say you're our best ally in the region, wouldn't you want to condemn folks in your own party for saying that type of stuff about Israel?
No question about it. The liberal progressives are hypocrites. They hate America. They don't say bad things about Iran, Hamas, and
right.
In Venezuela, Cuba. that are intolerant to everything they believe in. They're against free. These countries are against free speech, freedom of religion. They're against freedom. They're against the other. And here these liberal progressives talk about tolerance and freedom, and they would never live in those countries. So that goes without saying, Dan, and you're 100% right there. But when it comes to Biden saying that if we have to use force, if it comes to that, that is a really good thing. I was surprised he said that because I think one of the problems with the Democratic Party is that they think diplomacy will solve everything. And I think Trump had a better sense of that.
Yeah.
He understood that force is needed and always shouldn't use it, but if you have to, you do it.
Right.
And that will bring about peace.
And you can do it like Trump did while he was in, strategically with small forces, and get the guys out you want without putting big boots on the ground or going to full-scale war, because Trump's diplomacy and rhetoric was a hell of a lot stronger than the Democrats. And I believe, anyway, that our foreign adversaries believed him a lot more, that if they did act, he would react and it wouldn't be good for them. I think that they watch, they see this feeble old president, and they don't take him seriously. So I get your point, Harley, and I'll agree with you right there. We'll agree on that one, that him acting strong for once is a good thing. But I don't think it's going to last. And I'll wrap it up there. Harley Lippman, thank you.
You may be right.
Appreciate you as always, Harley. Come back anytime.
Great. Thank you. Good to see you.